Ladies and gentlemen, for many people that are unemployed, these last several months have been treacherous on them. I was reading the average unemployed person is behind on their rent by 5 months. They're behind on their utilities, they're behind on everything. And I just heard today there will not be a stimulus unless Joe Biden, when he comes into office, he does one. But the only thing the Senate will authorize is the additional $300 a week unemployment benefit. So if you're not getting unemployment, then it's really not going to serve you any purpose, especially if your unemployment is finished after Christmas of this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, millions of Americans who lost their jobs during the pandemic have fallen thousands of dollars behind on rent and utility bills, a warning sign that people are running out of money for basic needs. Nearly 12 million renters will owe an average of $5,850 in back rent and utilities by January. Moody's Analytics warned last month 9 million renters were behind on rent, according to the Census Bureau survey. Economists said data underscores the deepening economic disaster for many families as the pandemic continues to shut off work opportunities, lending new urgency to negotiations over a second round of stimulus could reinstate federal unemployment insurance and rental assistance, among other things. On Monday, lawmakers were working to release an outline of the latest $908 billion bill, which some bipartisan support. The deal would restart the $300 weekly federal unemployment in January, running through April. Although details are still being worked out, congressional aides said. Stakes are high for 20 million Americans receiving some kind of unemployment aid, who have seen weekly checks dwindle since August. Yes, because it was the summer when everybody lost the $600 weekly benefit, making it harder to pay bills. About 12 million unemployed are slated to have their benefits cut off entirely at the end of the year, unless lawmakers act before then. With coronavirus cases at an all-time high, the economy recovery has stalled and job opportunities remain scarce. Only 245,000 jobs came in November, the slowest pace since the recovery began. Restaurants and retailers cut jobs, and more small businesses are closing, data show. And I was also reading how many of these restaurants are saying it is impossible for them to remain open. So you're going to see a lot of them close permanently when January comes. You may not have as many open restaurants around you. With coronavirus cases, we know is still surging all through the country. People that are behind on rent and utilities is at an all-time high, especially for families with children, with 21% falling behind on rent. Among families of color, 29% of Black families, 17% of Hispanic renters were behind, the Census Bureau report. A separate analysis by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, looking at people who had jobs before the pandemic, found that 1.3 million of those households are now have an average of $5,400 in debt on rent and utilities after those people lost their jobs. and family income plunged. The tidal wave is coming. It's going to be really horrible for people. And the National Consumer Law Center, this is what they're saying. The number of people now 90 days behind, and the dollars they are behind are growing quite significantly. So, many people are, of course, in fear of an eviction right after the Christmas holidays. Um, and they're talking about the water shutoffs in the country due to people not being able to pay their bill. Oh, wow. You need water. Okay, so one Nashville resident said, I am behind on my rent. I will get evicted soon with my kids who are in virtual class and need internet. And so this person is going to have to move in with their mother, with her two children. So they said, this woman in Nashville lost her job. She's 36 years old in March, and she worked at a factory that packed tea. And she also contracted coronavirus in May. Oh, wow. What a terrible thing, but it's a good thing she recovered. So, and just like many people in this country, unemployment is absolutely ridiculous. She gets $275 a week in unemployment, and that's about to end. She said she had to pawn her jewelry and her son's PlayStation for food. Wow. I mean, but it shows you how bad it is out here. It is really bad. Many unemployed Americans were able to delay paying rent this fall under eviction moratoriums, but those protections end soon, and landlords and utilities are eager to get paid because they have their own bills and taxes to pay. Economists warn low income families won't be able to suddenly pay back 3 to 6 months of rent at once. Federal eviction moratorium is slated to end December 31st, even as coronavirus cases spike and the economy recovery fizzles. Researchers at the Philadelphia Fed said even their conservative forecasts warns evictions will spike 50% higher next year. So, I mean, the article is just going over more, all of these people that are behind on rent, and they're saying some of them got their utility shut off, and this is just horrible. This is horrible, and they can't give you no stimulus money. This is ridiculous. But you know what? It just goes to show you again how bad leadership is in America. If it was really good, you would never see something like this happening. They would be on top of it. People would be getting stimulus and all kinds of help, but don't hold your breath. If they can get away with doing nothing, these politicians probably would do that. They would gladly do it. But you know what? Just looking at how everything is ran, it is very obvious we got all of the wrong people sitting their behinds up in Washington. Not a decent person among them. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.